Two nations, one game. It is the championship between Team Sweden and Team USA. Both teams 9-0 coming into play today, and one of them is about to be crowned the hockey champions of the world. Sit back and enjoy this one. Should be a great game, and we are underway. Sweden with the initial face and then taken away by Werenski. Should be a very hotly contested game between Team Sweden and Team USA. Both teams 9-0 coming into play today. Team USA coming off of a win in the semifinal against Switzerland. Carlson turns back here for Sweden. Looking for a center out in front. This one denied off of Swayman. Goes back behind the net. Battle for it with Carlson and Werenski back. Johansson now sends it in behind the net. Tage Thompson gains control for the United States. One shot on goal for Sweden to start this game. Now Kesselring up ahead, cut off by Pettersson. Works it back into the Sweden end. Anderson now there. He gets hit hard behind the play. Johansson now up ahead, coming in wide, drops it off. Pettersson denied by Swayman. Loose puck out in front, and Swayman finds it. Stops play with just under 2 minutes gone by here in this opening period. 2 shots on goal for Team Sweden. Face-off controlled into the corner by Team USA. Probably the most competitive game either of these teams have played in this tournament so far, and it comes in the championship. Boyum to the outside, and Smith now drops it off. Lacombe sends it in on net. Tip try, didn't get through. Smith another try out in front, denied, and it goes back behind the net. Now circles along the half wall. Cooley now brings it in. Fire! Score! Logan Cooley puts it in, and Team USA takes the early 1-0 lead. What a start for Team USA as Logan Cooley brings it in and fires it top shelf over Markstrom's left shoulder. Just a couple of minutes into this game, and Team USA takes the lead at the 2:22 mark in the opening period. 1-0 United States, and right back in Connor Garland. He loses it to Broden, who sends it back out to center. Logan Cooley, the goal scorer. The other side, and Lacombe. Smith can't handle it. Sweden back through center. Broden brings it in wide. Drops it off for Forsberg. He can't handle it. He sends it in on net. Saved by Swayman. And the United States gets it out. Logan Cooley sends it in on net. Deflected away. Broden pinned along the boards. Josh Doan there for the Americans. He gets knocked down, and it floats back out into Sweden's grasp. Here's Lunderstrom. He brings it in, cuts inside, fires, and it's gloved down by Jeremy Swayman. 16:21 to go, opening period just underway here in the championship, and Team USA already off to a 1-0 start. Face-off controlled by the United States. Gustafsson up ahead, intercepted by Matty Beniers. Backlund now up ahead here for Sweden. They can't handle it. Matty Beniers up the near side, looking for his center. Tried to drop it off. Good stick by Gustafsson. Into the slot it comes. Loose puck out in front, and Nazar couldn't get it off. Hindle on the boards, back behind the goal line. Nazar sends it back behind the net. Beniers Pindle on the near half wall. Gustafsson wins the battle there. And Sweden back through center. Backlund tried to cut inside. Good stick by Beniers. Sweden bounces it back out to neutral ice. They'll have to reset. Heineman will bring it up now. Backlund brings it in wide. Sends it around the boards. Back is Heineman. Cuts in front. Heineman denied by Swayman. 14:41 to go in the opening period, off to a very hot start. Face-off control by Sweden. Anderson off a body in front. Comes into the corner. Broden out to Pettersson. He fires. That one goes in on Swayman, who knocks it away. And Team USA will clear the zone. Here's Josh Doan. Doan drops it off for McCarron. Sends it in off a body. Loose puck controlled by Sweden. And Anderson will bring it up ahead. Good stick by Kesselring. Lunderstrom sends it in deep. Just over 6 minutes gone by here in this opening period. Lunderstrom fires, save by Swayman. 8 shots on goal for Sweden, just 3 for the United States. But an early 1-0 lead for Team USA. Face-off control by Sweden. Broden to the point and Larson. He couldn't get a clean shot up. Now sends it in. Tip try out in front. Still loose, and it goes into the corner. Mika Zibanejad. Alex Wenberg now floats it back out to the point. Larson, Zibanejad off a body. Goes in behind the net. Gauthier there for the United States, and they'll get it out. USA heavy crowd here tonight for this championship game between Sweden and the United States. Wenberg feeds it in. Back behind the net out in front. A bobble into the slot, and the United States gets out. Keller brings it up ahead. Wenberg there to cut him off along with his teammate in the NHL, Adam Larson. United States keeps it alive. Gauthier cuts back in and sends it just wide of the net. Battle for it in the trapezoid. Tried to feed it in out in front. And Adam Larson clears to Zibanejad. From the top of the slot. Inside. What a stop by Swayman. And Team USA keeps it out. Pinto brings it out. Drops it off. Lacombe fires. Save. Markstrom. No further play with 11:45 to go in the opening period. What a stop on that end by Jeremy Swayman. Right on the doorstep. Looked like a wide open net for Forsberg, and Swayman is able to get a piece of it. Face-off here in the Sweden end, controlled by the United States. That one goes out of the zone. They'll have to tag up. Brady Shea backtracks. Connor Garland will bring it in wide. Centering pass intercepted by Johansson. And here comes Team Sweden through center. Johansson drops it off for Raymond, who sends it in. And Swayman snares another one. 11 shots on goal at the 11-11 mark here in the opening period. Face-off control by Sweden. Shot from the top of the slot goes off a body, and Team USA gains control. O'Connor, taken off his stick by Gustafsson, keeps it alive, works it down low. O'Connor circles back. Good stick by Raymond. Sweden back through center. Raymond fires. Another snare by Jeremy Swayman. Sweden taking a lot of shots from distance, not really getting down low on Jeremy Swayman too much, and he's just been able to snare these shot attempts so far. 10:33 to go, opening period. Face-off controlled by the United States. Beniers outside, offsides, Team USA. Just 4 shots on goal for the Americans to start. One of them found the back of the net, though. Renski pestered at the red line. And he turns it over. Lundestrom up ahead, waits for his friends. Fires it in on net. Rebound denied. Another try. Kept out by Swayman. 3 tries down low for Sweden, and Swayman holds his ground. Now Nazar on the other end, pestered on his way through. Over halfway through this opening period now. Team USA leads 1-0. Take it over at the red line. Pinto drops it off for Nazar. Couldn't get a clean look. And Lundestrom back the other way here for the Sweden. Lundestrom fires. Kicked it wide. The rebound. Score! On the follow-up, Broden puts it in, and Team Sweden ties us at 1. Just the second goal of the tournament for Jesper Froden. And we are deadlocked at 1 apiece. There was just nobody out in front for Team USA. Sweden came in very quickly. And Swayman couldn't get over in time for the United States. Tied at 1 here in the opening period. What a start to this game. Lunderstrom and Begston will get the assist on that goal, just the second of the tournament. And we're tied at 1 just over halfway through this opening period. Backlund in wide. Drops it off behind the net, comes all the way through. Team USA jumps on it. Connor Garland. Centering to Cooley into the slot, sticked aside by Markstrom, goes into the corner. Lindholm gets to it for Sweden and they get it out. Backlund up ahead. Backlund, good poke on his way in. Keeps it alive. Back up top. Anderson into the slot. A shot, score! Gets past Swayman. And Sweden takes a 2-1 lead in the opening period as Lindholm puts it into the back of the net. Just lifted it up. Sent it towards the net. That might have deflected off a U.S. player. It got tipped in, I believe, off of the leg of one of the United States players down low. And it's 2-1 Sweden now. Johansson right back in. Carlson saved by Swayman. So 18 shots on goal already for Sweden. And they take a 2-1 lead here in this opening period. Faceoff controlled by the United States. Nearly turned it over dangerously in the slot, but they get it out. Gauthier pestered on his way through. Back behind the net. Raymond and Gauthier battle for it. Gauthier hits the deck, and Sweden will get it out. Johansson brings it in wide, try to cut inside. Good cut off by Brady Shea. And back out to center it comes. Cutter Gauthier. Clayton Keller mishandled at the blue line, kept alive by the Americans. Floats to the far side. Sweden jumps on it. Adam Larsson up ahead to Johansson. Johansson drops it off for Raymond. Circles his way in. Whipped on the shot attempt, and it floats to the near half wall. And Team USA will get it out and send it around the boards. A bobble and a takeaway for a moment. Good hit on Keller, though. Prevents danger. Zibanejad through center. Fires it on net. Swayman knocks it away. McCarron jumps on it for the United States, and they'll get it out with O'Connor, who feeds it in around the boards again. First guy to it is Forsberg behind the Sweden net. Turnover. McCarron let's send it in, and Markstrom denies. And Sweden will get it back out to center. Heineman centers to no man's land. Will Smith into the game for the United States. He's pestered on his way through center. 19 shots on goal for Sweden, just 6 for the United States. Sweden leads 2-1. O'Connor hit at the red line. United States working it through neutral ice. Doan brings it up. Tried to center it inside. A bubble and a shot denied by Markstrom. 5:09 to go, opening period. 2-1 Sweden. Faceoff controlled by the Swedes. And they'll get it up to center. The goal scorer, the latest one, Froden. Brings it up, fires, Swayman snares. 4:54 to go in the opening period. Fast-paced start to this game. But Sweden's been on the attack for most of this opening period. Pinto and Lunderstrom will face off here in the U.S. zone. Sweden wins it, a shot off the body in front. Good shot block. Pettersson keeps it alive. Into the slot. The United States is there. Begston inside, denied by Swayman, and it comes back out. Nazar through center. Waiting for his friends. Nazar inside, Lacombe with a bobble, and Sweden will exit the zone. Boyum back out in center for the United States. Pinto can't handle it. Lunderstrom takes it away for a moment, back into Garland's grasp. He brings it in quickly. Garland gets around one man, and score! What an effort! Connor Garland ties us at 2 in the opening period. What an effort by Connor Garland. Just one-on-one with Markstrom. Right between the wickets. What a play by Connor Garland. Got around Anderson, and there was just a breakaway one-on-one on Markstrom. And we're tied at 2. What a start to this game. Face-off controlled by the United States. And then they immediately turn it over in center. 3:40 to go opening period. Cooley turns back here for the Americans. And he turns it over. Sweden back up. Intercepted in center by Cooley. Brady Shea works it in, and it's denied by Markstrom. Bankston back out here for Sweden. Coming in right wing circle. Now down low. Carlson. Hindle on the boards by Will Smith. Cooley there for the Americans as well. Carlson to the point. Edmondson inside. Rebound out in front. Goes wide of the net. Laurie jumps on it for the United States. And kept in. Carlson works it in. Fires up a skate out in front. Might have hit his own player. Carlson jumps on it. Wenberg short-sided. Oh, his feet out in front. And a whiff. There's a broken stick on the ice. In the American zone, Gauthier drops it off, a shot denied by Markstrom. What a try there for Team Sweden. "21 shots on goal for the Swedes. Into the slot, loose puck controlled by Sweden. Now a takeaway, but good defense by Adam Larsson. Lindholm drops it off for Bäcklund, surrounded by American players, and he takes it away. Tage Thompson gets hit in front of the Sweden bench as he feeds it in. What a start to this game. Back and forth we go. 2-2 our score, 90 seconds to play. Bäcklund sends it in on net, knocked away by Swayman. Goes back behind the net. Kesselring and Bäcklund battle for it to the point, and Larsson, he gets pestered, keeps it alive, fires off a body. And into McCarron's grasp. Nearing the 1 minute mark to go in the period as Heineman takes it away for Sweden. Lindholm down low. Sends it inside. Heineman denied by Swayman. 43 seconds to go in the period. Seconds to go. Face-off controlled by the Americans in their own end. Boyum pestered along the near half wall. As the Americans try to get it out, they can't. Right along the blue line, and now they come back out to center. O'Connor shielded by Wenberg. Drops it off to the point. A one-timer denied. A tip try out in front. Never got through. 10 seconds to go in the period. Zibanejad dangles. Drops it off. Wenberg, a bobble. Floats into the corner. Boyum there for the Americans, and that'll do it for a very entertaining opening period of play. Tied at 2 between the United States and Sweden here in the championship game. Start of the second period. Both of these nations doing battle. We're tied at 2. To begin the second, Team Sweden out shooting Team USA 23-10 with 13 more shots on goal than the Americans, but we're tied at 2. Sweden will bring it up to start, and it goes back out towards center. A battle for it at the point. And Team USA will jump on it. Tage Thompson up ahead quickly, centering to Keller. Shot denied off the blocker, and the rebound goes all the way back out. Cutter Gauthier to the other side, a bobble and a turnover. Carlson brings it in off a skate. Goes to the far half wall. Raymond back out to the point. Pedersen. Raymond back out. Anderson. Good block out in front by Clayton Keller. And here come the Americans. Thompson brings it in, cuts inside, loose pucks, stopped by Markstrom. On the shot by Cutter Gauthier with 18:51 to go in the second. Already back in action here in this fast-paced game. Face-off controlled by the United States. And they turn it over. Zibanejad turns back here for Sweden. To the other side and Broden. Now Forsberg with it, bobbled into the slot down low, and Swayman just finds the puck. Another stoppage, minute and a half gone by here in the second period. Face-off controlled by the United States. 23 shots on goal for Sweden, 12 for USA. Cooley tripped, penalty. And our first of the game belongs to the United States as Adam Larson gets called for the trip, and Team USA is going to go to the power play for the first time. So the big cat, as they call him in Seattle, Adam Larson, called for the trip, and a power play upcoming here for the United States. Looking to take the lead back. Face-off goes back out to the point. Smith gets back to it. Brady Shea wide of the net. Rebound off the boards. Broden there for Sweden. Pinned along as it comes to the near half wall. Heineman flips it up and out. Werenski back to Smith, who brings it in. Smith down low, denied by Markstrom. Goes back behind. Smith back outside Gauthier. Intercepted by Heineman. And Sweden will get it out. Short-handed here for Sweden. Gustafsson in front, intercepted, and the Americans back out. Shane Pinto brings it in wide, drops it off for Nazar, cuts inside, denied, rebound, denied by Sweden. And they'll get it back out and flip it down into the American end. Under a minute to go on the power play here for Team USA. Nazar sends it in around the boards. First guy to it will be Pedersen. He's pinned along the boards by Pinto. Close to the far half wall. Gustafsson there for Sweden. They flip it up and out. 25 seconds and counting on the penalty. O'Connor back to it. One final push on this power play here for the United States. McCarron brings it in, drops it off to no man's land, and Forsberg jumps on it for Sweden. And they will kill off this penalty as it goes back into the American end. So Team USA 0 for 1 on the power play now. Turnover out in front. Larson nearly had a chance at it, but good sticks by the Americans. Back to full strength Team Sweden. Doan whiffed on the shot. Down low McCarron. Now O'Connor with it off the pipe. And Markstrom finds it. Wow. Face-off controlled by Sweden, at least for a moment. Into the slot, loose puck, denied by Markstrom. Goes out to Zibanejad, who brings it up for Sweden. He gets pestered on his way in, kept alive by Pedersen. Sends it in just wide of the net. Wenberg back, battling with Lacombe. He kicks it over to Forsberg. Pestered by Tage Thompson. Loose puck out in front, kicked away by Swayman. Good poke. Gauthier gets there for the United States, and they'll get it out of the zone. Keller to the other side, and Thompson. United States changes. Thompson fires, save. Markstrom. 14:42 to go in the second face-off here in the Sweden end. Face-off control by Sweden. Carlson pestered, but they'll get it out back to center. Here's Raymond. Raymond inside pass. Broden couldn't get a clean one off. And there's another stick there by Swayman. Off the boards to Cooley up ahead. Cooley tried to cut inside. He lost the puck. Comes out to the corner. To the point, and Shea wide of the net. Carlson high off the board, stays in play. Trip outside, no call. A shot goes wide again. Sits back behind the net. And Sweden will get it out. Garland now takes it away in center for the United States. Here's Tage Thompson. Works it in down low, drops it off. Laurie waits, and it's off his skate out in front. Adam Larson jumps on it here for Sweden. And Thompson keeps it in. Doan couldn't get a clean shot off. Comes to the near half wall. Doan cuts inside. Tried to square up, and a good stick as Broden takes it back for Sweden. Battle for it in center. Back in the Americans. Josh Doan sends it in around the boards. Back behind the Sweden net. Larson gained control there. As they look to get it out. They will not be able to. Shot from distance by Josh Doan. Knocked down by Markstrom. And it comes into the corner. Close back outside. Carlson gets there for Sweden. And they bring it back through center. Broden tripped. Penalty call delayed on the United States. And they touch it. And a power play upcoming here for Team Sweden with their first penalty of the game. It's Zach Werenski who gets called for the trip on the Americans. And a power play upcoming here for Sweden. So first power play of the game here for Sweden. A whopping 25% on power plays in this tournament. Two teammates in the NHL face off with Wenberg and Beniers. It goes out wide. Zibanejad down low to Forsberg. Back to Zibanejad, who cuts inside, and it's denied. Wenberg outside. Zibanejad back up to the point. Anderson bobbles. Beniers pesters. Anderson keeps it alive. Sends it in on net. And Swayman denies with 1:31 to go on the penalty. What up, Glovester? Wenberg and Beniers face off again. Team USA will flip it not out of the zone. Good recovery there by Anderson. Kept it in. Down low, Forsberg denied by Swayman. The rebound goes out wide and sends it back up to the point, but out. And Sweden will have to tag back up. Team USA jumps on it. Shane Pinto up ahead, short-handed for the Americans, feeds it in. Pedersen pinned by Beniers, who's pestering on this penalty kill. Here's Alex Wenberg, outside Zibanejad. Waits for his friends to come. Zibanejad, outside Anderson. Back to Zibanejad. Inside, outside, Carlson flips it off a skate. Goes back behind the net. Lacombe jumps on it for the Americans and sends it down the length of the ice. Under 30 seconds to go in the penalty. One final push here for Sweden. Good hit in center. And the Americans jump on it. Boyum turns it over to Pedersen. Johansson now with it, pestered by Beniers again. 6 seconds, 5 on the penalty. Carlson outside. Good stick by Boyum. And the Americans kill off the penalty. Both teams now 0 for 1 on the power play. Here's Clayton Keller, who drops it off to no man's land. Over halfway through this second period now, tied at 2. No goals here in this second period between either of these teams, as Team USA looks to settle it down for a moment. Keller outside, Thompson back to Keller. On the doorstep, too far on the pass, and Markstrom got a piece of it. And Sweden brings it back up. Brady Shea takes it away for the Americans. Offsides on Cutter Gauthier and the Americans. And a stoppage with 9:16 to go in the period. All 4 goals in this game were scored in the first period. It was 1-0 Team USA. Sweden scored 2 unanswered goals, making it 2-1. And then Team USA tied it at 2. Werenski. Cooley stays alive. What a move, and a stop by Markstrom. And Sweden looks to get it out, pestered along the boards. The Americans keep it alive on the point. Kesselring denied wide of the net. Sweden jumps on it. Gustafsson will send it up and out. Here's Froden, who scored a goal in that opening period for Sweden. Works it outside. Froden back out to Gustafsson. Edvinsson turns it over to Garland, trying to split defenders. He does! Connor Garland denied by Markstrom. And it comes to the corner. And Gustafsson will bring it out here for Sweden. Turnover to Will Smith, who turns back for the United States. And Wenberg jumps on the puck. Gustafsson settles it down for a moment. Raymond fires off his skate, comes wide. Wenberg jumps on it for Sweden. Back out to the point and all the way back to neutral ice. Sweden has to tag back up, and they turn it over, at least for a moment. Gustafsson back in. Tried to flip it in towards the net. Kept it alive. Rebound just wide. Swayman got a piece of the initial try, and then the follow-up just wide of the net. Back up to the point, Gustafsson along the boards for Raymond. Raymond pestered back behind the net. Penalty called here on Sweden. Empty net for the United States for the moment. Extra attacker in on the delayed penalty. And Team USA goes back to the power play. Lucas Raymond called for interference back behind the U.S. net. And Team USA goes back to the penalty for the second time in this game. The United States 0 for 1 on the power play in this game. Trying to take the lead here in the second. Tied at 2. Thompson against Backlund. Thompson wins the faceoff. Benier sends it in, and Markstrom denies. And a whistle. No whistle, excuse me, as it floats back out to center. Race for the puck. Kesselring gets there first for the Americans. Out in front, watch out! Denied by Swayman. Shorthanded chance there for Sweden, and Swayman holds his ground. Matty Beniers centers to Cooley, a shot on net. Denied by Markstrom. And Sweden flips it up and out. Beniers will start the break in here for the United States. Drops it off back to center. Kesselring now up ahead. Works his way into the slot. Good cutoff by Adam Larson, who flips it up and out. All the way back down to the American end. Under a minute to go on the penalty. Gauthier can't handle it. Floats to the blue line. Offsides on the Americans. 43 seconds to go on the penalty. Face-off control by Sweden. Broad and Pindle on the boards. The Americans trying to keep it on this side, and they will. Garland back out to Smith. To the other side, Werenski down low. Brady Shea denied by Markstrom. Sweden flips it to the near side. Jumped on by the Americans on the point. Garland denied. Might have hit a body out in front. 14 seconds at counting on the penalty. Back out to Smith. Cuts inside, backhanded try, no. Rebound down in front. Sweden jumps on it, and they clear and kill off their second penalty. Back to full strength, Team Sweden. Team USA now 0 for 2 on the power play. Smith drops it off. Werenski cuts inside, denied by Markstrom. Goes back behind the net. Lundestrom jumps on it, and they get it out. Bankston drops it off. Anderson blocked out in front, tipped around. Loose puck in the slot, and the Americans get it out. Frank Nazar. Now Lacombe with it, turns it over. He was surrounded by Sweden players. Edvinsson back into their own end. And now back through center. Bankston sends it in. Swayman will just freeze it. 3:44 to go in the period. No goals here in the second period, but still very entertaining as we take a look at Jacob Markstrom denying the attempts by Team USA on that penalty. Both teams 9-0 in this tournament coming into today. We've got the game we have expected to this point, tied at 2. Face-off control by Sweden. Anderson whiffed on the shot. A bobble, drops it off to no man's land, and O'Connor jumps on it for the United States. Here's Boyum. Boyum tried to send it in on net. Pettersson gets there for Sweden. And now taken away on the doorstep. McCarron, score! Michael McCarron off the turnover, and Team USA takes a 3-2 lead. He has turned it on in this back half of the tournament, and Michael McCarron puts another one into the back of the net. Markstrom got a piece of it, but not enough. And Team USA takes a 3-2 lead in the 16:45 mark here in the second. O'Connor brings it back in for the Americans. Now Brady Shea back to O'Connor. And taken away by Lindholm for a moment as it floats to the corner. Michael McCarron, the goal scorer, turns it over to Backlund. And a power play upcoming for the United States. Another interference call. And this is where Team USA might be able to take over. Not very much argument from the Sweden bench. Backlund called for interference. It has kind of grabbed a hold. And he will go to the penalty box. Third power play of the game for the United States. They're 0 for 2. And now they're looking to add on to their lead here in the second. Carlson will face off against Thompson in the Sweden end. Controlled by the Americans. Back out to the point. Kesselring off a body. Rebound. Keller couldn't handle. Back out Beniers. Settles it down and now turns it over. Watch out. Short-handed Carlson. Up ahead. Denied. Rebound goes wide. Battle for it outside. Cooley jumps on it, and now a breakaway the other way. Logan Cooley! Denied by Markstrom. Goes back behind the net. And Carlson flips it up and out. My goodness. These two goaltenders in a battle. Two jailbreaks on either side to start this penalty for the United States. Page Thompson to the other side, and Keller with a bobble. Back out to center. Another jailbreak chance as Johansson just decides to flip it in. Flip and follow. Johansson gets to it. Sends it around far side. Jumped on by Zibanejad. Good stick out in front by Kesselring. And the Americans will get it out. Smith dangles on his way in. Fires, saved by Markstrom. Goes to the corner. Garland working it down low. Denied by Markstrom. Loose puck in the slot, and Sweden gains control. 14 seconds to go on the penalty. Sweden brings it up short-handed and denied by Swayman. 6 seconds left on the power play, and we're under a minute to go in the period. Jeremy Swayman on that breakaway chance with an excellent stop. He came out to shorten the distance and got the pad on it, and then it just deflected wide, getting some help from his friends. Face off in the American end, controlled by Sweden. Turnover to Thompson. Sweden back to full strength as they kill off their third power play of the night. Team USA now 0 for 3 on the penalty. We're down under 40 seconds to go. Here's a turnover. Brady Shea brings it up, cuts inside, backhanded try, no, and Markstrom finds the puck. The intensity. Team USA's bench. 29 seconds to go, 3-2 USA lead. Face-off control by Sweden. Lindholm with the bobble, turns it over. O'Connor back to Lacombe, fires it in, tip try out in front. Controlled by Sweden. 12 seconds and counting in the period. Lindholm brings it up for Sweden, 6 seconds. And it looks like they're going to be content with where this period ends up. 3-2, heading to the third and final period. What a game this has been. Team USA scored the lone goal in that second period to jump in front. And now we've got one period here in the championship. Start of the third period, and it should be a fun one. Team USA leads by 1, 3-2 our score. Both teams 30 shots on goal. 20 minutes to decide the champions of the world. Johansson brings it up. Raymond downstairs. Carlson denied by Swayman. Rebound, another stop by Swayman. What a start for Sweden, and Swayman holds his ground. Cutter Gauthier brings it up. Trying to send it in, out in front, and Markstrom finds the puck. Action in the first 28 seconds of this period. Take a look at these stops by Swayman back-to-back to start this third period. Face-off control by the United States. Keller bobbles and it floats to the near corner. Cutter Gauthier there for the Americans, battling with Anderson, who wins it. Johansson now jumps on it, turns it over. Gauthier back to Thompson, whiffed into the slot. Gauthier off a body. Good sticks by Sweden, as Gauthier never got it in on net. Pedersen back the other way here for the Swedes. Centering pass intercepted by Keller. Comes to the near half wall. Controlled by Sweden as they try to keep it in. Pedersen pestered by Thompson, who wins the battle. And the Americans will get it out. Anderson jumps on it in center. Back to Keller for the Americans, who feeds it in deep. 2 shots on goal in this period for Sweden, none for the United States. Here's Johansson. Pester to the outside. Centering pass, one-timer. Good stick by Shea before it could get through. And Brady Shea sends it back out to center. Beniers turns it over to Lindholm, who turns back for Sweden. Now Backlund outside. Centering pass on the doorstep, denied by Swayman. Floats back behind the net. Inside Johansson, stopped by Swayman, who's holding his ground to start this third period. So many excellent stops by Jeremy Swayman in this game. And Sweden has 4 shots on goal to start this third period early, to the United States none. And Swayman keeping it out to maintain their lead. .17.5 to go in regulation time. Still plenty of hockey to be played. Kept in on the point. Now Zibanejad, inside pass, somehow got it in there, but good sticks by the United States. Connor Garland working it wide, drops it off behind the net for Logan Cooley. He's pestered by Adam Larson. Cooley trying to stay alive in the trapezoid. And it floats back out to the near side. Larson jumps on it. Zibanejad up ahead, Dangles waits for his friends. To the other side, and Broden fires, tip try out in front, goes wide. And Matty Beniers has it for the United States. Shane Pinto bobbles on his way through. Larson takes it away for Sweden. Zibanejad up ahead. Alex Wenberg tried to cut inside, and it's taken over by the United States in the slot. Now up ahead, Matty Beniers, 2-on-2 if they hurry. Beniers sends it in, denied by Markstrom. And Sweden jumps on the rebound. Broden now through center, turns it over. Smith to Nazon. Top of the slots, flips it in, and Markstrom says no. Face-off controlled by the Americans. This one goes off a body back behind the net. And it floats back out to center. Brady Shea on it for the Americans. O'Connor can't handle it. And here comes Sweden. Lundestrom feeds it up ahead, turns it over. McCarron now with it. Here's Josh Doan. Back to O'Connor. Takes it in, and he's denied by Markstrom. Goes back behind the net. Good pad save there from Markstrom. Sweden jumps on it in their own end. And they send it all the way back down. This might be icing. It will be. Icing on Sweden. Bring it back to the Sweden zone. 14:42 to go in regulation time. 3-2 Americans. Faceoff controlled by the United States. Doan denied by Markstrom. Now both teams with 4 shots on goal to start this third period. Faceoff controlled by Sweden. Heineman will bring it up here for the Swedes. Centering pass to Backlund, sends it in, denied by Swayman. And Team USA gets it out. Listen to this crowd here in the third period. Backlund to Heineman, a shot denied by Swayman. 13:56 to go in regulation. Faceoff controlled by Sweden, and an errant pass goes all the way back. Markstrom feeds it up to Anderson. Backlund back up ahead here for the Swedes. Backlund sends it in behind the net all the way through. Anderson lets it fly, and it goes off a body. Along the near half wall, Sweden keeps it alive. Pettersson works it down low. Pettersson feeds it in. Sticked away by Swayman, and Keller will feed it up and out. Werenski to the other side, and Keller. Thompson now couldn't handle it. And Zibanejad jumps on it here for Sweden. A turnover in center, back in for the Americans. Tage Thompson, Keller off a skate. Loose puck in the slot, and controlled by Sweden. Forsberg now up ahead, dangles his way in. Centering pass off a bobble. Wenberg denied by Swayman. And it comes back out to O'Connor. And Team USA gets it out. Here's Will Smith. Smith drops it off. Kesselring sends it in. Intercepted by Wenberg. Kept alive by Smith. Fires. Save. Markstrom. Pettersson jumps on it here for Sweden. And they get it out of the zone. Alex Wenberg up ahead. Floats it into the corner. Will Smith there for the Americans. O'Connor with a bobble back in their own end. 37 shots on goal for Sweden, 35 for the United States. O'Connor floats it into the slot. Smith tried to fire it, and he couldn't get it off. Sweden jumps on it in their own end. Pestered trying to get it out. Pettersson pestered on his way through, and he finally gets it out to center, but the Americans jump on it. Here's Will Smith. Floats it in deep. Back out to Bengtson, who feeds it in around the boards. Brady Shea there for the Americans. Floats to the far side. Laurie jumps on it for USA. And back out to center. Controlled by Pettersson in Sweden. Lundström will bring it back in here for Sweden halfway through the period as he floats it in around the boards. Battle for it in the trapezoid behind the net. Back out to the point. Pettersson keeps it in. Larson now fires. Kicked away by Swayman. And Team USA gets it out of harm's way. Will Smith up the far boards. Tried to center it in. Good stick. Now out in front. Denied. Markstrom finds the puck and stops it with 9:24 to go here in the third. What a game this has been. Gustafsson will bring it up here for Sweden. Working it in wide. Gustafsson down low. Denied. Right on the doorstep by Swayman. Comes to the far half wall. Controlled by the Americans. Cross ice to Nazar. Under 9 minutes to play. Nazar. Centering pass. A shot off the goalpost. Matty Beniers let it fly, and Team USA can't finish. Now on the other end. Johnston. Denied. Back behind the net. Johansson back to Raymond. Raymond out in front, a whiff by Carlson. Loose puck in the slot. That one hits off the goalpost, and it goes to the far half wall. Johansson pinned there. Sweden keeps it alive. Edvinsson, Gustafsson sends it in. Tipped out in front and kept out by Swayman. Still alive for Johansson along the boards as it floats in down low. Carlson, good stick by Lacombe, and the United States gets it out. My goodness, what a turn. Shane Pinto can't handle it. Battle for it in neutral ice. The Americans jump on it. 7.5 to go here in the third as Zibanejad jumps on it for Sweden. Gustafsson brings it in. Look to load up. Good stick by Lacombe. Gustafsson to the point. Wenberg. Inside Forsberg. Try to spin and fire. Raymond denied by Swayman. The rebound denied by Swayman up the side of the cage. And Garland will get it out now for Team USA. Nazar centering pass denied. Markstrom. Wow, what a third period. No goals, but so much action on both ends of the ice. As we take a look at Beniers for Team USA, ring it right off the bar. Matty Beniers was that close, and he just kissed the crossbar. .41 shots on goal for Sweden, 37 for the United States. Sweden pestered in their own end, and they get it out. Backlund up ahead here for the Swedes. Tried to send it in. Good stick from behind by Cutter Gauthier. Loose puck on the goal line, controlled by the United States. Here's Tage Thompson. Thompson cuts inside. He's pestered by Larson on his way through. 6 minutes to go in regulation. Kesselring turns back for the United States. Broden jumps on it here for Sweden. Tried to get it out, and they will. Here's Lindholm. Now Backlund with it. Works it into the slot. A shot denied by Swayman. Heineman pestered along the boards behind the net. Controlled by the United States, and they will get it out. Here's Werenski. Works it in wide. Trying to cut inside. Good stick by Broden. Nearing the 5-minute mark to go here in the third. 3-2 Americans. Backlund brings it in. Drops it off for Heineman. Shot denied. Jeremy Swayman again. 4:57 to go here in the game. Face-off control by Sweden. Anderson whipped on the shot, and it comes back out to center. Heineman jumps on it here for Sweden. Back in is Backlund. Backlund works it in, drops it off. Anderson denied. Swayman. 4:32 to go in the third. Face-off control by Sweden. Zibanejad denied again. Swayman holding his ground here in this third period. Another face-off here in the U.S. end. 4:27 to go, regulation time here in the championship. Face-off control by Sweden again as it floats to the corner. Wenberg there for Sweden. Pindle on the boards by Logan Cooley. Now Brady Shea picks out the loose change for the United States, kept alive by Pettersson, who feeds it in deep. Forsberg out in front. Zibanejad denied, short-sighted, and Swayman finds it again. Under 4 minutes to go in regulation. And another face-off here in the U.S. end, controlled by Sweden. Pettersson, what a stop by Swayman! With 3:52 to go. And another stop for Jeremy Swayman. Just reaches up and snares it. And Team USA looking to get it out of this side of the ice as Swayman just stopping everything right now, but he needs some help. Keeps it a one-goal game. 3-2 our score, 3:52 to go here in the third. Face-off control by the Americans this time. Turnover, Lundestrom denied by Swayman. And now another try denied on the short side by Jeremy Swayman. My goodness. And the Americans finally get it out. Cooley up ahead for the United States. Drops it off for Smith. Inside, intercepted. And Sweden back the other way. Just over 3 minutes to go. Broden brings it in. Back to Bengtsson. Inside, Lunderstrom couldn't get a shot off. And Swayman finds it again with 3:07 to go. Face-off controlled by the Americans. 3 minutes to play here in the third. Nazar. Hooks back, drops it off for Pinto. Couldn't handle it. Sweden jumps on it. Back out to center and Raymond. Brings it up. Fires. Saves. Swayman. 2:37 to go. And now we have to start keeping an eye on Markstrom in the Sweden net. Sweden out shooting Team USA 51-37. Team USA by 1. Face-off controlled by Sweden. Larson can't handle it on the point. Broden fires. Tip just wide. Rebound. Raymond whipped. Short-sided. Off his skate out in front. Goes to the far side. Nazar jumps on it for the United States. And Beniers back through center. Drops it off for Pinto. Now Nazar denied by Markstrom. 2:07 to play. And it's coming down to the wire. Face-off controlled by the United States. Boyum sets it up and off his skate. Comes into the corner. Gustafson pinned along the boards. Thompson keeps it alive. Keller. Errant pass goes all the way through. Gauthier out in front. A whiff. Still loose. Thompson stopped by Markstrom. And Gustafson keeps it alive. And Markstrom saves Sweden. Intercept in center by Cutter Gauthier. He turns back here for the United States. Keller denied Markstrom. Minute 20 to play. And you'd have to think Sweden, next time they bring it back up on the attack, they will pull Markstrom to bring the extra skater in. Face-off control by Sweden. Forsberg will bring it up. Zibanejad. Markstrom stays put for the moment. Wenberg sends it in, stick to side by Swayman. United States jumps on it, 1 minute to play. And the United States brings it up. Markstrom can't leave. Gauthier dangles. He's pestered into the corner. 50 seconds to go. And it floats back out to center all the way down. Icing the call. We'll get a face-off in the Sweden zone with 47 seconds to play here in the championship. Face-off control by the United States. Kesselring loses it in the slot. Kept alive. Inside. A shot denied by Markstrom. O'Connor back out. McCarron off a skate out in front. O'Connor jumps on it. Werenski fires. Tip just wide. And it comes to the near side. 32 seconds to play. Team USA on the attack. Sweden desperate to get it out. They can't. Werenski cuts inside. Denied again by Markstrom. Under 25 seconds to play. Doan now a shot denied. Out in front. Back out to the point. Kesselring fires off a body. Comes back out to neutralize, but the Americans are on it. We're down to 13 seconds left, and it floats deep into the Sweden end. Sweden might not even get a chance. We're down to 8 seconds. United States wasting time. 6 seconds. Gustafson. Forsberg. 3 seconds to go. The United States on top of the hockey world. They congratulate Jeremy Swayman in between the pipes. What a third period for Jeremy Swayman. And Team USA wins the World Championship. What a run for the United States. A perfect 10-0 throughout the tournament. And what an effort in this game, especially in that third period. where Jeremy Swayman in between the pipes was excellent. Team USA dominated pool play. They get it done, and they win the championship here over Sweden. 3-2, the final score.